Okay, so I literally just got out of the theater, moments ago, from seeing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I just wanted to do a video because this is all still fresh in my mind. I have a lot to say about the movie. Now, it had gotten some very mixed reviews. There were a lot of complaints about this movie that are very legitimate. However, I will say I did enjoy this movie. Like, it had its own look, it had its own feel, and it was pretty solid adventure. Now, admittedly, the opening to the movie is really awesome, and then after that, I want to say the first half hour or so kind of got on my nerves for several reasons. Number one, Isla Sorna. Is that just not a thing anymore, or what? A lot of the periphery characters are kind of whatever. There was the guy who's just twitchy and nervous, and he was a little bit annoying, but not nearly as annoying as I thought he would be. And he has more of a part in the first half of the movie. He kind of does less in the second half. Same with this this girl who comes across the PMS Avenger, kind of alpha omega badass chick. The thing is, I understand that we're living in an era where, we're supposed to have strong female characters. We should have always. I get it. But there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it, okay? Right way to do it would be, Sigourney Weaver, Ellen Ripley, going into the alien hive and rescuing Newt, okay? Totally bought it. Didn't doubt it for a second. It was maternal, but it was so strong-willed, and I just bought every fucking second of it. Then you have, the Jill Valentine from Resident Evil, which is, granted, it's a video game movie and it's not supposed to be realistic, but it's also kind of I'm an uber tough chick, and I don't know. It was just she got on my nerves a little bit. Now, as far as characters go, none of the new ones were really anything to write home about, but I think that Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt were enough to carry this movie. One thing that was really out of character was at the beginning of the movie, Bryce Dallas Howard's character is working with all these, people to save the dinosaurs and shit like that. And I'm just I don't know, man, because there's that one fucking scene in Jurassic World, the first one, where, she sees, the just chaos that the Indominus Rex has caused, where there's just dinosaurs lying everywhere dying, and she, lays by that Brachiosaur and sees it, and she starts crying, and it's oh, okay, so she's not just a corporate heartless wench, she actually does have a heart. But I think that they could have built off of that. I don't see Claire as the type of person who would have wanted to go back to that fucking island. She wouldn't have been pushing to go back to that island. She would have been the one who needed convincing. And the funny thing is, it's sort of like her and Chris Pratt switched roles. And it didn't feel quite natural, because it's you wouldn't have needed to talk him into going back to the island to save Blue. He would have just wanted to do it. He would have been trying to get her on board. And they needed her because they needed her hand to access the technology on the island to open doors and shit. So it's she had a reason to come back, but it should have taken some convincing. And Chris Pratt should have been the one to do it. And he should have tried to pull on her heartstrings a little bit, come on, you know that these are animals, yada yada yada. And it could have grown her character, and then maybe when they do the next movie, she's more of a bleeding heart. But it just seemed very abrupt. I didn't see her as the type of person who would have gone out and fought for all these causes. Anyways, Jeff Goldblum has a small piece in the movie. And the scenes that he has are great. They're very, original Jurassic Park, Ian Malcolm, warning. And just like the original Jurassic Park, he's right. The fucking Indoraptor is awesome, and the whole second half of the movie is basically just running from the Indoraptor. And I mean, some people had a problem with that. They're oh, it's just a dumb monster movie. I enjoyed the shit out of that monster movie. Some people are saying that, oh, it's just like The Lost World because, the dinosaurs are, in our world now. It's well, they're in a mansion, okay? And the fact of the matter is, I enjoyed the claustrophobia of them being in a mansion, because there's we can't open the doors, we can't let them out, but we have to survive here. And here's this fucking thing that has superior intelligence, superior smell, it can hunt anything. It's the most intelligent dinosaur. There were a few eye roll moments. There's certain things that don't add up, this dinosaur is impervious to shotgun shells, yet other things can happen to it. it just doesn't really make much sense. There are some callbacks to the first Jurassic Park that I thought were quite good. Like, you see the overturned car in the middle of the woods that you assume is the one that went over the ledge in the first one that Tim was stuck in when him and Dr. Grant had to climb out of the tree. That was cool. You see like an old a model of the old like Jurassic Park command compound. That was like a nice little nod. But then it's like you had like fucking the T-Rex in the exact same pose at the end of the movie, from the side. I don't know how to fucking... You had the fucking girl getting trapped in the, like, it was like one of those like lift things, those like old laundry elevators where you pull the rope and it goes up. She's in that, and the fucking Indoraptor is like running down the hall at her, and she's like trying to pull the thing, and it looked just like from Jurassic Park when Lex was faking being stuck inside the storage compartment. And it was just like, okay guys, it's like look, like, I get it, nostalgia, I get it, okay, I get it, but you don't have to, like, you have a good idea for this movie, you have a good, somewhat original idea for this movie, just roll with that. If you're going to do anything nostalgic, it's like, make it relevant. Also, to be fair, she gets that door shut, like, right in the nick of time, and the fucking Indoraptor hits its head against it, and she just survives. This fucking thing bashed its head through bars, and was, like, ripping through metal, and it can't break through a flimsy-ass fucking wooden door. But, Chris Pratt was great, Bryce Dallas Howard was great, there was a lot of gratification, like, people who needed to die died. The movie had a pretty decent amount of violence, and overall it was just really fun. I mean, the fact of the fucking matter is, we're never gonna get another Jurassic Park. The original Jurassic Park is such a fucking masterpiece, and part of what made it such a masterpiece is the fact that it was the first time we were ever seeing it. We were experiencing Jurassic Park for the first time. There's nothing that they're going to be able to do over the next few years to recapture that exact feeling, because we've already experienced it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not totally going up to bat for this movie. It was chock full of problems, but once you get past that first half hour, like, I really started to get into it. I really started to enjoy myself. It's a good, fun movie. If you're looking for like a totally intellectual masterpiece of modern cinema, then maybe you shouldn't go see this movie, but I don't really know why you'd be expecting that. I almost forgot. Side note, and to anybody who might be familiar with this, comment below and let me know what you think. I used to collect comic books of all different types of movies back in the day, all right, including Jurassic Park, and I had a series called Return to Jurassic Park. And the chick that I was talking about in the beginning of this video, the one who was a little too tough kind of a thing, I am almost positive that the director took influence from that comic, Return to Jurassic Park, because there's this character, Abby. She's Asian in the comic book, but she had like the exact same haircut. I swear to God, she had like the big ass fucking glasses, and she was like a really snarky, like, take no shit kind of broad. And just, I really, really, really think that the director took like inspiration from that comic. It's really a pretty fucking huge coincidence. The characters are so similar. All right, guys, later.